from the Crypt.
Welcome to the Spooky Nerd Club, everyone. I'm your host, Ray. I'm here with my co-host, Horror Girl. And today, we're going to wrap up Season 1 of Tales from the Crypt with Episode 6, Collection Completed. We finally got there, y'all. How do you feel about this episode? What are your first thoughts?
This is gonna be controversial. Are you sure you're ready for it? Because it's kind of big. This was my favorite episode
Of the whole season?
Yes.
What? Wow.
I loved it. It was hilarious. I loved it.
Alright, so let's just jump right into it. So this episode is called Collection Completed. It premiered on June 28th, 1989. It's starring M. Emmett Walsh. He's been in a lot of other films, but it includes Blade Runner, Blood Simple, The Jerk, and even Critters.
It also stars Audra Lindley, who's in Three's Company and The Heartbreak Kid.
Martin Gardner is also in this, who's from the Twilight Zone movie. And this episode is directed by Mary Lambert, who directed Pet Sematary and did a bunch of music videos for many artists like Madonna, Janet Jackson, Motley Crue, and my boy, Bobby Brown.
This episode was written by A. Whitney Brown from SNL, Battle Davis, and Randolph Davis.
Out of all the episodes this season, this was, to me, probably the most comedic. For me, it just didn't slap as much as the other ones. And if I had to rank it, I think it was probably the worst choice for a season finale. But I had fun with it, though. I'm not going to lie. I thought it was funny. There's some shit in it that I'm just like, it's pretty hilarious. So we're going to jump straight into the plot.
Tonight's skin-pimpling story is about a couple with their own pet peeves. I call this chunk of chilling charnel chatter Collection Completed.
So it's a stormy night as we pan the inside of a still house filled with birds, fish, and all sorts of knickknacks. A woman named Anita backs out of the kitchen with a big-ass sheet cake, and she gently sets it on the table.
And it looks like we have a surprise party on our hands.
He's gonna be so surprised. He's here. He's here. Everybody, be quiet now. Shh.
You know goddamn well ain't nobody in that house. She probably just talking to fish for all we know. Anita opens up the door to find not her husband, but a stray cat on the doorstep. She happily takes in this poor kitty who's soaked from the rain.
Oh, what's your name, huh? Mew Mew?
Right after closing the door, we hear a heavy knock. She opens it to see it's her lovable, heartwarming, charismatic husband.
You shut the door right on my face.
His wife excitedly lets him in, explaining how they've been anxiously waiting for his arrival. His name is Jonas, and he's carrying a box full of his old office stuff. Out of everywhere I worked, I usually ended up just leaving on my own terms. But I've never, just had my own box carrying shit out. What would your box have, though, if you were fired from somewhere or you retired?
So probably what I have on my desk right now. So, probably a disco ball spider and a pen that's shaped like a skeleton hand. That's it.
I think my box, I probably would just have a bunch of hard drives. Maybe some B12 because I'm old.
You are old. The celebration is already off to a rough start when the wife tries to take the box to relieve her husband from his long day. He insists on carrying it and fights for the box, accidentally stepping on the cat and falling over. Dude, just let her take the box.
Right. So your boy Jonas is now pissed that there's a stray cat in the house, wondering how it got inside. His wife helps his bitter ass clean up the contents of the box. She recognizes a big golden hammer. Pause. And rightfully asks, "Oh hell nah, what the hell is that?"
Oh, hell no. What the hell?
That's 47 goddamn years. That's what that is. 47 years. Sun-time hand tools. 6 days a week, 52 weeks a year. Look at that thing. Some thanks. Can't even tell time with it.
I'm sure they will find something to do with it later. It's so stupid. Jonas sadly analyzes the hammer as he says how proud he is to be put out the pasture. The day he turns 65, they let him go despite being the 17-year regional sales leader. I'm surprised he's such a good salesman considering his personality. This is Jonas selling a remote control. Horror girl, you want a remote control?
No, I don't.
That's how he thinks.
Making those crazy eyes.
Right.
He's like doing that all the time. Anita, being a good wife, says he's done enough for them and this is his time now. She happily pushes him towards the party table, telling him they have a surprise for him. Before he can complain, he sits on a squeaky porcupine toy.
No, I hate that. God damn your cats to hell! What do I have to do? Search my own cotton-picking chairs every goddamn time I want to sit down under my own roof? Is that what I have to do?
Anita assures him she doesn't know how it got there, considering the cat knows it's his chair.
I think the cat put it there.
Mm-hmm.
I'm gonna blame the cat, bastard. After Jonas freaks out, she calmly tells him she'll throw away the toy, and he says, throw that stinking ass cat out too. She argues that cat is her new friend, and he doesn't even care, because now that he's retired, she won't need animals anymore. He'll be home all day now, in the goddamn house he worked for, all his goddamn life, sharing their golden years together.
Yep. Finally, I'm going to get some time for you, Anita.
Yeah!
Yay! He leaves to hit the sack, and Anita is saddened he won't enjoy the party, but he's too tired and stomps off to bed as Anita apologizes to the party guests, who, yes, are all pets in party hats.
Crazy. What's our impression of this couple so far?
I don't know.
I could have seen her anywhere at a grocery store, a library.
You have cats.
I saw her at the strip club. I knew she had cats.
You would. You'd be able to pick her right out of a strip club, actually. You're the cat lady here.
Where do you think they met?
I think they were like high school sweethearts.
The next morning, our boy is already waking up looking agitated. He freaks out that Anita turned off the alarm because he's going to be late for work, clearly forgetting that he's goddamn retired now.
She tells him to sleep in as much as he'd like, and he tries to take her advice.
I can't stand it.
He rushes into the bathroom where Anita's doing her hair. They awkwardly share the bathroom together, knocking heads at the sink, using the same towel, dropping his glasses into the toilet. What do these people do on the weekends?
Right? It's like they never actually lived with each other. So then Anita heads for the bath, claiming she doesn't mind sharing a room with Jonas, but he... I forgot that was there. Jonas says he has to sit down to use the bathroom. So she's like, alright, and he jerks off when she leaves instead of pooping.
Exactly. That's what happened. Exactly. We then see Anita making a big goddamn steak for your boy as she feeds the fishes and cats. Jonas enters the kitchen surprisingly chipper and refreshed. Yeah, you think he did something in the bathroom?
He was definitely in there for a good 10-15 minutes, you know, and he came out smiling super hard. What else you gonna do when you retired? You just gonna jerk off all day, right?
I guess. What else is a man to do?
None of that is making it in.
Yes, it is.
He admits this is his first weekend off since he was 17 years old. How is that possible? I don't know. Salesmen back in the days, that had like 3 families in different cities. They had families on the West Coast, East Coast. They had a South family. They had it all. Talking about I love you, baby. And then they got a whole ass kid and another family over there.
Anita suggests he do nothing today and rot in front of the TV. Jonas won't have it though. He's a self-proclaimed productive citizen who was given mandatory retirement. Anita is confused, knowing he loves to pass out in front of the TV, but Jonas says he was working before and had a right.
She tells him to do a little work and then passes out after. Jonas doesn't seem to be listening as she steps towards him with that juicy ass steak. But she passes him and sets it on the floor. It's for the dog, not Jonas. And Jonas instead gets a bowl of boring ass oat bran.
What the goddamn hell is going on? Are you running some kind of luxury resort for every flea-bitten parasite that trips across my doorstep? What's that dog eating? A steak?
These are my friends.
Jonas is in disbelief. He's been working for 47 years to shell out for every mangy cat and dog that will be her friend because she feeds them. She insists they keep her company and they're all she has. Jonas is enraged and offended as he admits he may have been busy for the last 47 years, and hasn't had time to sit and yap with her every day, but he had a living to earn. Anita calms him down until a goddamn crow lands on her bird feeder, and she shoos away the freeloader.
Who's in the wrong here? Are they both right in their own kind of way?
No, Jonas. It's been like this for 47 years and he's home one day and thinks he's gonna just everything up? No.
That's what I'm saying. Like, her whole, like, everyday pattern is off now because he retired all of a sudden.
His fault. It's all him. He's messing it all up.
Jonas is in his workshop, shining his useless golden hammer. Pause again. We hear a new voice as his neighbor Roy comes to visit Jonas, who isn't excited to see him. We've only seen Jonas excited to see steak so far.
Jonas politely welcomes Roy, who is surprised to hear Jonas retired. He figured seeing Jonas's car outside meant he must be sick, or his car broke down, but he never considered retirement.
Sounds like you've been doing a lot of thinking about this. Better run to the newspapers. Inquiring minds will want to know.
So Roy gives him a model plane set, but Jonas insists he has real work to do. While they're in the backyard, Jonas explains that there's always work to be done around the house, and it's fine with him since he doesn't want to be an old geezer who just sits around and waves at cars.
A bulldog arrives, and the Roy agrees. I can't. A bulldog arrives. I can't see.
So a bulldog just arrives, and though Roy greets it, Jonas shoos it away. You mangy mutt. Like a phenomenal actor, the bulldog just exits on cue.
I love it.
And Jonas just keeps clipping the out of this tree he's working on while he expresses his worry for Anita's obsession with animals.
I don't like to air our dirty laundry out. I think she needs help.
Roy lays down some realness, saying everyone knows Anita has always been that way. Funny, Jonas didn't realize it until now.
I seen her sitting on the green with a squirrel perched right on the top of her head. And it was like she was talking to him.
Squirrels? God, that's disgusting. Tree rats, that's all they are.
When he was cutting those hedges, I was like, that shit is done, bro. It's like, what are you doing? As Jonas is clipping at the last remaining twigs of that poor tree, Roy tells him not to worry about that stuff so much and enjoy retirement by finding like a hobby or some shit. Go get a life, dude.
I say hobbies are just waste time.
I'd say you about got it.
It's finished.
It's been finished.
It's done. It's lunchtime, and Anita serves Jonas a tuna sandwich, but it's a little too fishy for him.
Ew.
He checks the can and discovers she accidentally served him cat food. Back on cue, the Oscar-nominated bulldog.
I'm sorry.
I can't do this.
Back on cue, here comes the Oscar-nominated bulldog turning through the doggy door, and Anita welcomes him, yelling, "Jonas!"
The human Jonas is appalled to learn that she named him that. Whatever. I'm gonna just read it again until I don't laugh. The human Jonas is appalled to learn that she named him that. She says it's because the dog reminded her of him. Burn! Jonas says he might as well sit in his seat and eat the sandwich.
And he's like, tell that dog to come sit in my seat and have a bite of this sandwich too. So Jonas, the human, not the dog, is sitting in the living room watching some goddamn television, watching a program about dogs. He gives a nasty cough, but assumes he's coming down with a cold.
I'm not so sure. Sounds like a hairball to me.
A hairball? Oh, God, you're unbelievable. Just a cold. I think I'm getting a headache.
Anita fetches him some aspirin as he surfs through animal shows. God, it keeps getting worse. I can't do it.
Alright, let me try. Anita fetches some aspirin as he surfs through animal shows, including a report on cougars eating homeless people. And Lassie!
I bet my drink everywhere.
Anita returns with a brownie and pushes Jonas to try it. Turns out, she hid the aspirin in the brownie, and Jonas finds out he's fed up and quotes the Elephant Man with,
I am not an animal. I am a human being.
So at this point, are we empathizing with Jonas a little bit? Because he's kind of getting tortured. So where it's like, All right, I feel bad for the old lady, but at this point, she's kind of cuckoo at the same time.
No, I still hate Jonas. I hate him.
No.
I love this old lady and her crazy pets.
Do you think it's his fault for being like too busy to realize his wife was an animal lover? Because isn't that
Yeah.
something you would pick up even from a beginning stage of a relationship?
Well, okay. Does he never come home to sleep ever? Was there there's a doggy door on their door. Like, who did he think that was for? Obviously, animals. I just don't understand. He
Right.
doesn't. Does he not know?
He's like, what are all these pets doing in here? It's like, dude, you built the doggy door.
What do you mean? That doesn't make any sense.
Jonas is back in his workshop sharpening his clippers because he f***ed them up from overhedging all of his bushes. And when Roy returns in another killer tracksuit, he brought over a new model plane, but Jonas still rejects it. Roy tells Jonas the models are just about slowing down a little bit and letting life just pass by a little. Jonas doesn't need to slow down. He confesses to Roy that Anita fed him like a goddamn pet. Roy, always just offering good advice, convinces Jonas to talk to Anita about how they both been feeling. At this point, I'm just wondering how long are these goddamn shifts at this tool store? Because it seems like he was never there.
We see Anita in the kitchen, pouring out her feelings and seemingly coming to terms with her husband.
Well, that's all in the past now. We can make a brand new start. We'll be the way we used to be. I'll rub your stomach and you can lick the back of my leg.
She was talking to the goddamn cat. Mew mew. Jonas witnesses this from the window and is probably like, F it, there's no hope. I'm just gonna keep clipping these trees.
I'm out.
To be honest, I feel for her, but it is a little weird, a little obsessive.
Yeah,
But
it
but
is.
they're both on a level of extreme.
I mean, okay, so the only thing is, like, when I was watching where she was talking about the cat licking her leg, I thought this was gonna turn into, like, because remember the TV was saying that this woman thought Elvis, like, spirit
Yeah.
was in her cat? So I thought she was on the same page thinking this was, like, her dead boyfriend or something living inside
That's a
of
good
the cat.
point.
But I mean, they never went there, so I don't know why the cat would be licking up her leg. I don't know. He's clipping away, and Anita brings out a refreshing beverage for your boy. She says if he needs anything, she'll be cleaning out the fish tanks. Mew Mew comes out and says, F your drink, she's my bitch, and knocks the pitcher over. Jonas is at his wit's end and lures the kitty in with his sharp clippers. He tries to snip the cat but misses. After a misstep, Jonas trips into a fish pond, ultimately initiating his villain arc.
Yeah.
He slowly stomps up the stairs like Michael Myers, stopping wet and muddy from his fall. He pushes past Anita into the bathroom and starts the shower, forgetting she's cleaning up the fish tank.
Optical flip back into the kitchen where Anita is knitting, probably making some goddamn mittens for her goddamn kittens. Jonas enters in a surprisingly good mood. Again, just finished masturbating. He's dressed in a nice suit this time. He trips over a dog bone and still keeps a smile on his face as he tells Anita he'll be out for a while. Anita's like, sure, see you later. Next we see him in his workshop packing away all the model sets Roy gave him. What a bad friend. Your homie just gave you all this expensive toy model and stuff. You could have at least built one.
That stuff. I've got better stuff to do.
You gotta trim these hedges.
More pressing matters.
Yeah.
Speaking of Roy, our tracksuited friend is in the backyard enjoying a nice snack with Anita, who's curious as to what Jonas is up to in his workshop.
Well, whatever it is, we were just in time. Any more of his yard work, and this place would begin to look like a parking lot.
By the way, you haven't seen the other Jonas anywhere, have you?
That old bulldog. No, can't say as I have.
Anita calls to the human Jonas in the workshop asking now if he's seen Skippy. He responds in the most respectful way.
What are you doing here? Get the hell out of here! I didn't tell you could come down here.
She expresses her worry about the bulldog Jonas, and the human Jonas says he just heard him out back. Oh my god. The bulldog stuff just makes me laugh.
She rushes upstairs and sees Bulldog Jonas out front looking a little stiff. Something is off about our favorite actor here.
Jonas! Is that you? Oh, Jonas, where have you been? Mommy's been worried about you.
She reaches to pet him, and when his eyes blink, we see that human Jonas is controlling his movements and sounds with a remote control.
Anita is shocked and appalled. Jonas says he's part of his new hobby, taxidermy. When Anita asks for an explanation, he says he's just making adjustments so they can share their common interest in their golden years.
When you love animals, now I can learn to love them too.
But these animals are like my children.
Good children not to be seen and not heard.
God.
I'll cheers to that.
I agree.
Anita is not having it as she yells, "What have you done to my babies?" But suddenly she remembers her precious Mew Mew and shouts that he won't touch her Mew Mew.
What?
I'm trying to think of a joke.
As she runs off, Jonas gleefully plays with the switches on the remote control. Anita calls for Mew Mew, searching throughout the house. She instead finds a stuffed squirrel under the bed that looks just as shocked to see her.
She returns to the workshop where Jonas is stroking some rabbits. Pause again. That's the third pause of this episode. He shows her all the animals he killed, going off about how difficult it is to work with the little animals. He says he's just missing the final piece in his collection, and you know who it is? Mew Mew. But he's alive. Anita literally had a whole gang of dogs and cats, including the incomparable Jonas Bulldog. And her reaction was pretty mid. Yet, she is so worried about the cat she just met maybe like a week ago. I just feel bad for all the other ones she came up with, you know?
She had all those pets there for his birthday party. Them all for this little orange cat. Yeah.
Maybe they both were dealing with some kind of dementia.
They're senile. They're both senile.
There you go. That's the word I was looking for. Anita attempts to grab Mew Mew before Jonas kills him, but she's pushed into the work table where she sees his shiny golden hammer. You know what I'm saying?
I believe in using chloroform. Doesn't shock the system. Muscles don't tense up and they pull away from the bones like butter.
You're not going to kill that cat.
Anita, no!
The optical flip back to the living room where Lassie is playing on the TV. Anita is happy to know Jonas is okay watching that program and tells him she made tuna for lunch, his favorite.
As I've said before, it's so nice to have a man around the house to take care of.
There's a knock at the door, and it's Roy. He just walks in like a sitcom character saying he wanted to check on how they were doing.
Hi there. I just dropped by to see how you two were doing.
Well, come on in, Roy.
Anita says Jonas has really slowed down and learned how to enjoy life.
He's much happier.
So, lesson of the day here, hard girl. Don't get between a lady and her pussy. I don't know why I had to say it like that.
Facts.
I guess Jonas learned that a hobby can be very self-fulfilling, as long as you're not too stuffy about it.
What were your thoughts on the episode?
I loved it. It was my favorite one.
So, out of all the 6 episodes this season, how do you rank them from least favorite to your favorite?
Only Sin Deep.
All right.
Trash.
Sorry, Leah Thompson.
Yeah. That. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. Lover Come Hack to Me.
Number 5, Lover Come Hack to Me. All right.
A Man Who Was Death. Niles, of course.
All right.
Dig That Cat. He's Real Gone.
What was your second?
All Through the House.
And your number 1, Collection Completed.
Yes. How would you rank yours?
My least favorite one. It might be Only Sandeep, honestly. Because it was just boring, for real. Number 5, probably Collection Completed. I thought this episode was funny, but I enjoyed some of the other episodes more. Number 4 would be Lover Come Hack to Me. Number 3, The Man Who Was Deaf, the one with Niles, episode 1. And then number 2 would be Dig That Cat, He's Real Gone. And then number 1 would be An All Through the House, the Christmas special. We have somewhat similar rankings, but we like them a little different. Just rewatching them and going through them and doing a deep dive like we had this whole season really made me appreciate a lot of them a lot more, even the ones that I didn't care for that much. Yeah, I really enjoyed wrapping up this season and creating these videos with you. That was fun.
So until next time, I want all of you to sit, stay, play dead.
So yeah, that pretty much wraps up this video. I really appreciate everyone checking out our Tales from the Crypt content and listening to us be a little dumb and silly with a lot of the cadence of these characters and going through the story and really doing a deep dive on all of it. I appreciate all the support, and if you could please like, comment, subscribe, hit the notification bell, stay tuned to catch all of our latest videos. And yeah, that wraps up this season. And as tradition, take us out.
Thanks for watching. See you next time.
Tales from the Crypt.